So Mike did me the honor of asking me to testify to the scholarly side of his scholar athleticism. And it turns out it's an easy task. There's a lot to testify to. I know him from my plant ecology class, which he took last fall, so I have some first-hand testimony. But I asked him to send me his transcript as well, and it's just loaded with A's. As was mentioned, 4 years ago, he was out in Overland Park, Kansas at Blue Valley West High School. And Kansas is not known educationally for its eagerness to teach all aspects of science. But nevertheless, they managed to send him here with advanced placement out of a semester of calculus and out of Spanish entirely. And that gave him the chance to take a heavy load of science classes as a pre-med, and to ace virtually all of them, which landed him on the dean's list and also got him a chancellor's scholarship, both of which he's held on to every semester up to the present since he's been here. He went on to ace such unaceable things as physics, organic chemistry, oceanography, that might not be as hard as the others, statistics, that's no fun. And then he came to plant ecology in the fall of 2015, and I never would have guessed that he was an athlete. I might have suspected that he was a future doctor because he was not inattentive to his scores and his potential to get into medical school. But he was interested. He was interested in ecology and interested in plants. And plants don't have a lot to do with swimming, and they have very little to do with anesthesiology. So we talk about the way the world works, the way the natural world works, both practically and theoretically. And Mike talked about that a lot as a member of the class. I think it takes a bunch of things to be a scholar. It takes talent, it takes perseverance and application, it takes a little bit of luck, but especially I think it takes interest. So congratulations on all 4 counts and on this award, well deserved.
Next is Coach Russ Yarworth.
Hi, folks. Thank you, Professor. I will take, I think I can say that some college students might use some plant life for anesthetizing themselves. Hopefully none in the current crowd. Right. I'd just like to congratulate the track program and talk a little bit about Michael. I think you hear about Michael's individual athletic accolades, and I think he would replace them all with what happened this year, which was winning the team title, because that's what's most important to Michael. He came here as a freshman and we won the title, the Atlantic 10 Conference, and then we were runners-up for 2 years in a row, and all he wanted was to leave this place as a champion. And he did it with dedication, determination, and perseverance. That's what I saw out of him. And leadership by his senior year. And he was a leader both in the pool and in the way he carried himself in the classroom and everything. And he was an integral part of the program. And one of the most touching things that I saw, and I don't even think I've told Michael how funny this was, but the Atlantic 10 Championships was a 4-day meet. And going into the last day, we were behind by 45 points, and our swimmers just turned in a great performance that day. And we got to the last swimming event, and we were ahead by 10 points going into 3-meter diving. And all the swimmers were down there watching the divers, like cheering every dive. And we had to shred it because we knew we couldn't beat St. Bonaventure in their relay. And after the last diver went in, Michael's there later. It's Mike, well, we got first, third, and fourth, and this is this many. How many points is that? And they got that, and we won! And he was like a 10-year-old with his exuberance and excitement and it just wrapped up everything for the 4 years, and it made me so happy for him, so happy for the team. And I can tell you statistics. I can tell you that he broke a 13-year-old school record in the 100-yard breaststroke that was established by Billy Brown, who's being inducted into the UMass Athletic Hall of Fame next week. I can tell you that he swam this and that and everything, but what I really want to demonstrate is how important he's been to the program. All right, he came here, he essentially, he wasn't pleased with his junior year performance, even though I thought it was great, but he didn't quite swim as well as he wanted at the end of the year, and he didn't pack it in. Dedication, determination, perseverance. In the spring after the season, we reworked his mechanics on his breaststroke. And he could have gone home and done whatever, but he went home and trained all summer and came back with those new mechanics, not only installed, but improved, so he could carry that through and do his lifetime best times in his senior year, which is hard. As you get older, it's hard to keep improving because you have all the other distractions of having to take your MCATs and having to go to class. These professors give them all this schoolwork, make them miss practice sometimes because of lab. All right? Remember that. And the fact that he aced organic chemistry, I was a biochemistry major, and organic was the worst thing that I ever took. And you know, when he pulled an A in that, I realized, like most of the kids on the team, he's smarter than the coach. But anyway, I'd like to congratulate Michael. He did a great job. I think he's going to be back here as one of my assistant coaches next year, so that'll be a great person to have on the pool deck. Someone else to do all my work for me, and I get the credit. So, just like the swimmers, they do all the work, I get the credit. So that's great. All right. So anyway, Michael, great job.
Again, I'd like to ask Joan and Bob to present this award to Michael.
Here's the picture. Okay. Thanks.
I'd like to start out by thanking both Professor Peter Alpert and Coach Russ Yarworth for volunteering their time to speak about me today. And I want to thank the Den Bros for this honor. It was definitely unexpected. Professor Alpert's class, although he was saying I did well in it, was probably the most challenging course I took at UMass. It was definitely the most time-consuming. And it reminded me back of when I was first starting to do school and getting homework, which was when I was around 9 or 10 years old. My dad would make me, as soon as I would get home, he would make me just do all of my homework, which when you're 9 years old, it's kind of annoying, you know. But if I did it, and especially if I did it before he would get home around 5 o'clock, he would take me out to get breadsticks, which was my favorite thing. So, and Russ gives us the same principle. He says that school comes first and then swimming. But everybody on the team wants to do both, and it usually comes down to swimming, and a little bit of schoolwork gets compromised. But yeah, you know. But yeah, Russ was able to set the same standard, and his program made me into the person that I am today, and I would love to thank him for all that. Lastly, I want to thank UMass Athletics for giving me a really good challenge, academics for giving me a challenge, athletics for the support, and lastly, my parents for their guidance and the opportunity to come to a great school like UMass. Thank you.